Oh, there we go. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another stream. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope everybody is doing well, fine and dandy. We're back here again we're back here again for the new year. The FPL Premier League Game Week 17. We are fastly approaching. There we go. That's myself in the background coming through on the reverb. But we're back again with another stream, another deadline, another week, and yeah, well, hopefully for myself and many of you will be a decent little game week. So let's move in to this team, how we're lining up for this weekend, and just general kind of thoughts about the game week and the things going ahead, with the new announcements, the blank game week 18 not being as blank as it previously was, the double game week 19 now having Manchester City players, but this is the team that I'm lining up for this weekend. I'm going with the Jamie Vardy captain. It's a little bit of a rogue one, but at the same time, his away form is unbelievable. Something like 17 in 17. Scored 17 in 17 games away from home, averaging about 9 or just over 9 points per game. Get your comments down below. Thoughts for this weekend, any last minute transfers, last minute substitution decisions, who you're captaining for this week. Let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, the Jamie Vardy, that's the main decision I'm making this week, is the Jamie Vardy captaincy. It's one of them where he got rested against Palace. Had he been on the pitch, Leicester probably win that game 1-2, 3-0. Iheanacho obviously missed a penalty and missed an absolutely wonderful chance as well. Now, the majority of my team actually does play. Actually, 9 players are played by tomorrow morning, 12:30, because I've got 4 players, as you can see: Martinez, Fernandes, Rashford, and where's the other geezer? And Grealish, all playing tonight in the 8 o'clock kickoff. Manchester United versus Aston Villa. I don't really know what to hope. I'm hoping that Rashford does something and that Grealish does something. I don't really mind if Bruno does nothing because he's such a highly owned player. And most people, there's going to be a lot of captaincies on Bruno, so almost a Bruno blank will actually help me more than him doing something. Because his effective ownership is almost 100%, I think. Then we've got Heung-min Son as well. He's been pretty lackluster of late, I can't lie. He's blanked the last 2-3 game weeks, I think. I mean, it's really hard to tell in this game because, Leeds, they do look so good going forward, could easily score, but also they're very vulnerable at the back. And we've seen them against kind of good quality teams get absolutely battered in the past. So we could see Heung-min Son absolutely hauling. And I'm seeing a lot of people deciding to put their captaincy onto Son this week. I've also got Dyer in that game. I don't know what the ideal situation would be for me in this game, to be honest. Whether it will be a sort of a 0-0 will be best because I have Dyer and most likely I have Dallas. I brought in Charlie Taylor on an early transfer this week to catch the price rise. And then he goes and gets himself injured. Wonderful. At least I didn't actually own him for the game, but hey ho, it's one of those, you just got to take the bullet. And it's more annoying because the plans I've actually made to go forward didn't need to bring in Charlie Taylor anyway. So definitely that's a lesson learned in terms of sort of chasing after value when it's not really needed, because that value is just going to go straight back down now. But yeah, I mean, I've just started him because, if there is any chance that we've been lied to and Charlie Taylor does actually play, well then I've got him there starting. But most likely what's going to happen is Dallas is going to come off of the bench, which means that I've got 2 attackers and 2 defenders playing against each other in the Spurs versus Leeds game. So I'm hope if that's a 0-0, I actually won't be too disappointed, as long as one side keeps a clean sheet and sort of the attacking, I guess, say it's 1-0 to Spurs. If it's 1-0 Son, then I'll be absolutely fine with that. Same with the other way round, 1-0 Leeds, I'll be fine with that. What would be annoying if it's sort of like 1-1 and Rafinha and Kane get the goals, then it would just sort of be all of my players on 2 pointers from that game, and it just wouldn't be too ideal. The Fernandes, Rashford, Grealish situation, I'm not too bothered about Martinez. Maybe he can pick up a save point, but the majority of people I know own Martinez and Fernandes, and then a few people own Grealish, but virtually no one owns Rashford. So Rashford is one of my main kind of differentials going into this week. So I'm hoping Rashford could potentially bag a goal or 2. And then obviously you've got the team rounded off by Soufal, who actually kicks us off this weekend against Everton away. Not expecting too much from him, although Everton of late have been more kind of defensively sound than they were previously on in the season, but less good in terms of an attacking sense. Only picking up sort of a goal in their past sort of 3 games, I think it is. Just about scraping by, but Gylfi Sigurdsson absolutely smashing it of late. Come back into that side, captaining that Everton team. Whether he'll keep his place though, it's yet to be seen when sort of the likes of Dean, the likes of Coleman, the likes of Rodriguez, the likes of Richarlison all come back into that Everton team. We'll see a lot more kind of attacking display, hopefully from them going forward. But for now, it looks as though they are not. Those players are out through injury or for various other reasons, and so hopefully Soufal can pick up a clean sheet. He's got 3 assists so far this season, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad as Soufal, especially when he does get the assist. He also tends to get the bonus points as well. I remember when he played against Palace, he picked up an assist and also ended up with getting 3 bonus points along with that. I know some people are sort of a little bit hesitant on Soufal because he did get benched in the last game against Southampton, where he would have got a clean sheet. But obviously, he's just had a newborn baby, and so that's probably why he has been benched. Soufal's been, you ask West Ham fans, you see on Twitter, you see online statistically, Soufal's been West Ham's best player so far this season. And so, yeah, there is no reason why he doesn't start this game, especially after just having a break. There is news that, Harry Kane may see a benching because he's just had a child as well. Does he pull a Jamie Vardy and take time off? I'm really unsure about this one because, Spurs, they need Kane. And I think Kane, although he has just had a child, will probably want to play in that game because he knows how important it is to Spurs. It's not... Leeds aren't a sort of any kind of a pushover team. They make you work hard to get the victory, but it's also a case of, when Leicester and Palace played them, they had to work hard to get the victory. But sort of once you get past the midfield press, one ball through and it's an easy goal. So I can understand why people are captaining Son and going forward. Alrighty, ho, we have got a comment in here. The FPL Penguin, how you doing, mate? Enjoyed your stream last night. Happy New Year to you as well. You've gone with Kane captain this week. I rate it. I do think that people. Obviously, I'm just talking about Kane's just had a newborn baby. Will he get back? I think he'll definitely play. It's just kind of speculation at this point. That probably don't want to buy into. Kane captain is just... The thing with Kane is I think in this game he's going to pick up a lot of assists. I think he's going to be slipping that, just pinging the balls through that number 10 position to Son, and you're going to see a lot of Kane x Son in this game. I think it's one of those games that really sort of should be a high scoring game, but at the same time you can see it just also being a 0-0 to a point where, Spurs, the way Mourinho play, he's probably just going to park the bus against them and counter-attack. And it could just be a case of Leeds just throwing everything at Spurs and then just waiting for a last minute and getting a 1-0. You could see that happening, but at the same time you could also see Kane going and absolutely smashing the life out of Leeds. And I think it's a perfectly good captaincy choice. Son was definitely very high on my radar this week as well. Fernandes and Salah are the typical kind of, just stonewall who you tend to go for week in, week out. I've heard actually that Salah's got a very, very good record against Southampton. Apparently he's scored 7 goals in the past 6 games. Whether, one of them was just a 3-game haul or he's got a hat-trick on one of them, I don't know. So could skew the stats a little bit, but apparently he's got a good record against Southampton. But yeah, I do really like the Kane pick. It's a player that I'm very, very worried about this coming weekend. We've got a few more comments in as well. Should I bench Adams this week for Podence or Bowen? Che Adams playing against Liverpool. Liverpool, although they've not looked great defensively, they are kind of only conceding 1 goal max of late. And I don't think Adams is maybe the best pick. Who are Wolves playing? I need to check that. If you let me know who Wolves are playing. But I do like Bowen against Everton. I know I said that Everton's defence has been improving, but it still isn't great. So I really don't mind Bowen against Everton at all. I can't remember Wolves' fixture actually. Let me know in the comments down below who Wolves have got. But Podence could be a big shout as well. Although they have been kind of starting Fabio Silva over Podence in the past few weeks. So the bench risk is there with Podence. So maybe go for Barn instead. Is Kane on pens? Yes, he is on pens. He will be banging in. What a pen taker he is as well. Hardly misses. But I just love the way he takes. I hate all of Bruno Fernandes. Fair enough, he's a good pen taker. But other than him, the majority of people who do that kind of skip, run up, whatever. We saw the one that Iheanacho did against Palace. I hate players that do that. Just go through it like Vardy, Kane, just Troy Deeney. Hit the ball, give the keeper, even if they dive the right way, they're not going to be able to save it. I really don't know why they do all this kind of skipping and jumping about. But oh well. I mean, I'll take the Iheanacho one. The Guaita save. Why Vardy captain? Because I think he's going to do well against Newcastle. I've had this thought for a while. He's a differential at this point. But Salah hasn't filled me with confidence over the past few weeks. Fernandes does look good, but yet they're playing against a good defensive Aston Villa side. We've seen that for the majority of this season, Newcastle have been poor defensively. Yes, they just kind of scraped to 0-0 against Liverpool. They conceded a lot of big chances in that game, and it was more down to Liverpool missing their chances than it was down to Newcastle being an incredible defensive display from Newcastle. That also being said, they're not going to set up in the same way at home against Leicester than they are away at Anfield to Liverpool. They're going to be a bit more expansive, and I think Jamie Vardy's going to get in behind them. Vardy's away record is unbelievable, averaging over 9 points a game. I just think that Jamie Vardy looks like a really, really good option to captain this week. And it's more for me when I pick my captaincies. I'm kind of thinking, what player would I be more disappointed if they did well and didn't pick him? So if Salah goes and does well now and Vardy blanks, then I'll be a little bit disappointed, but I won't be too disappointed. But if I captain Salah and Salah blanks and Vardy goes and hauls in, I'll be really disappointed because for the whole week my captaincy's been on Vardy and it'll been a lot so on. So that's how I kind of do my captaincy choices. I got done a third bench. No chance he fills the Taylor spot. All that. To be honest, I've not actually thought about that. What I could do. That's a good point. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Dunn in my team. Just because you've said that. I mean, to be fair, Dunn now has got a 75% chance of playing. But what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put Dunn as my starting player, Charlie Taylor is first on my bench, and then Stuart Dallas is second on my bench. So if Dunn, does start and play, as you say, then I've got him there. Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, I don't necessarily think you will, but at the same time, why not do that? There's no harm for me to do that. If he's not going to be there, he's not going to play at all. I'm also, potentially a little bit worried that Leeds are going to ship a lot of goals and Dallas may still only end up on 0, even -1 point. Wolves play against Brighton. Okay. It's a tough one because I don't know whether Podence will actually start. I'd personally probably still go for Bowen, but Brighton is a little bit nicer of a fixture. But yeah, it's a 50-50 between those, I think. But then again, also Che Adams. He looks all right as well. So I think, yeah, for me, Bowen. Holding on Mitchell, who to bench. I've said this to a lot of my mates. Obviously, I'm a Palace fan, so I really don't like the idea of people picking up points from Mitchell because he's sort of just been sitting there on their bench for this whole time. I don't like the idea of picking them up, but the advice I've been given to them is that if there's no harm in starting Mitchell this week because if he doesn't play or gets benched, he's not going to come on the field. And if he does play, he's starting the game against Sheffield, could easily get a clean sheet. So I think it's a good idea to start Mitchell and then sort of have your bench along the lines. Obviously, you'd be very unfortunate if Mitchell was benched and came on for 1 point, because it would require Van Aanholt or someone like that to get injured. So basically for the whole season, when Mitchell has been benched, he hasn't played. And if he starts against Sheffield United, there's a very good chance that Palace will get a clean sheet and he'll get some points there. The guys said choose 3 defenders to start: Zouma, Dallas, Targett, Mitchell, Justin. I am struggling. So I think Justin, Mitchell, as I just said, there's no harm in starting. So Justin, Mitchell, Dallas or Zouma. I'll tell you what, or Targett against Man United. Targett will probably be on the bottom of that list for me. Zouma stands a bit of a chance, but I think Dallas, because of Dallas's attacking returns, although I do think they're going to concede to Spurs because he has got attacking returns, probably want to start him. It's like when he played in the Manchester United game, they lost 6-2, but he managed to get a goal, so he got 5 points. So I'd probably go for Dallas, Mitchell, Justin, with Zouma as first on your bench, and then Targett second. Green Hour every week coming in with the I will captain Vardy. Good to see you in here, fella. I think Vardy, obviously, it's what I'm going with, what I'm hoping will do well this week. Make sure as well, guys, that with your captains and vice captains, you don't have them playing in the same game. Because I've got my captain here on Vardy and my vice on Bruno. Make sure you haven't got the same team as captain and vice, because if the game gets called off because of COVID, then you'll just miss out on a captaincy altogether this week. Good to see so many of you in the chat. Plenty of questions coming in. Keep letting me know who you captain this week, any last minute transfers, so on and so on. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Just managed to hit that 200 mark, so I'm very chuffed about that. But we're pushing, we're going to keep on growing throughout the new year, 2021. Could it be the year? But yeah, thanks for the support, guys. So we've got another one, risk-free bench, but he is a centre. But yeah, done. It's a risk-free move to put him in there. Same with Charlie Taylor as well, because they're likely both going to get 0 points, and I'll get Dallas off the bench. But yeah, there's no harm. So thanks for that. And if it pays off, I'll be sure to thank you. Salah or Bruno captain. It's a flip of a coin, honestly. The best thing to do, I'd say, in that situation, if you're really humming and hawing, literally toss a coin. What generally happens actually is then when you toss a coin and it lands on say you toss it, heads is Bruno, it hits Bruno, you'll generally find in that moment whether you actually want to captain him or not. So if you're really humming and hawing, flip a coin, heads Bruno, tails Salah, and see which one is which, and then you'll actually find out which one you want to captain. Bruno Fernandes looks very consistent, like he could score in every game, and Salah's got a great record against Southampton. So I think at the end of the day, if the fact that you're humming and hawing so much about it, they may end up with the same points this week anyway. So I know a lot of people do like to just go for the early fixture and get it out the way with, say, Fernandes. Chilwell or Soufal for this week. Oh, that's a tough one, because Chilwell's got the attacking returns. But you'd say that West Ham probably do have the better fixture. With Man City being rested as well, you see that Man City probably will score a few goals against Chelsea. I'm leaning towards Soufal, but Chelsea do have the kind of best expected kind of clean sheet, or kind of goals conceded in terms of they're expected to concede the fewest goals in the Premier League. So, they do have a good defence in that game. They easily could keep a clean sheet. And Chilwell's attacking returns are very, very good as well. Holding or Watkins, who to bench? Oh, that's tough. I tend myself to always like to play the attacker. But the fact that Holding, I'm pretty sure Arsenal are playing against West Brom. West Brom, they've not looked very good of late. And with the way that Big Sam likes to play, Big Sam's teams don't really score many goals. They look for the clean sheet more than they don't. All of that being said, Manchester United's defence well, not last week, but previously, hadn't been too great. But I guess with the introduction of Bailly, I think Villa probably will actually find it a bit tougher to score. So I'd probably go with holding in that sense. Ole's at the wheel. You going with Bruno, are you, fella? You made that last minute decision. Good to see, good to see. The panic stations. We're in the last 10 minutes. Panic stations. Make sure to screenshot your teams to put in the group chat. I always forget to do that. So get your screenshots up already. I'm going with Son cap with Kane and DCL. Bamford bench, big gamble. Yeah, I mean, Son Kane. I think Son x Kane this week are going to smash it, or should. You've got the hope. I'd go into that Spurs game if you've got Son or Kane being quite excited at the prospect of them scoring quite a few goals. Completely understandable. But another guy in the chat earlier, FPL Penguin, saying he's going to captain Kane, and I think captaining one of Son or Kane is a great idea for this week. I've just decided I want to go with Vardy. That's just my kind of gut for this week is Vardy. Son will get, and yeah, you've benched Bamford. I don't really, with how Bamford's been playing this season, I don't love it. Obviously, you're going for the gamble. If that's how you want to play the game, you play the game that way. Because DCL could it's an easier fixture for DCL to score in West Ham than Spurs is for sure. And if you bench Bamford and it pays off for you, you go flying up the ranks because Bamford's such a highly owned player that when he does bank other players that do well, you'll be sent flying up the leaderboards. Some will get loads of space to play as the Leeds wing backs are so far forward. Yeah, I completely agree. Dallas and Alioski absolutely gun down those wings, so completely understandable why people want to captain Son. This guy's coming in with a Mount to Son for a -4. Should I captain Britain? Mount to Son, I mean, for a -4, I don't like -4s, but in terms of -4s go, I think that's actually quite a good one. Mount hasn't really been doing anything of late, and the potential for Son to pop off in this game is ridiculously high, even. So yeah, as I said, I don't particularly like -4s, but as -4s go, I think that's actually not a bad move at all. Let me refresh the chat here so everything comes up. Yeah, Ole's at the wheel. Let me know in the comments down below. Ole's at the wheel. What the final decision making is? Is Alioski starting for you? That's the big question. Is Alioski starting? Captain Bruno or Salah? Yeah, we just had this one in. Just said, if you really don't know, flip a coin and just decide it. It really is a 50-50. Go with your own personal gut. Salah's got a great record against Southampton, and Bruno's on fire. Great consistency so far this season. Do you know if Charlie Taylor is out? You're not sure? Well, from everything that I've been seeing, it seems as though he is out. Most likely to be out anyway. He's got a hamstring injury, and from all the reports that I've been seeing, he has been out, or he is out. I think Charlie Taylor most likely. Well, the thing is with FPL, when it's a 75% on the thing, you really don't know. But when it's 50%, it tends to be that the player is going to be out. And from all the reports, from all of the kind of reports and stuff that I've been seeing, Charlie Taylor looks like he's going to be sidelined for at least a couple of weeks. Anyway. Few more comments coming in. They're all popping off now. Nice to see people down in the chat below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, of course. If you don't mind helping me out, I'd really, really appreciate it. Got some more comments coming in. FPL Penguin coming in again. My man. The thoughts on El Ghazi as a nice differential. Yeah, I've seen you discussing El Ghazi as well. I was quite surprised actually when I did see that he's been returning in he's returned in like 4 or 5 out of his last 4 or 5 games. So I think El Ghazi, it's tough to know with El Ghazi because when Barkley, I'd like to see what happens to him when Barkley comes back before I'd go and put him in my team. Because if Barkley comes back, then Barkley comes into the centre, and then Grealish, they're not going to bench Grealish for El Ghazi. So Grealish moves out to the left. So then does El Ghazi move to the right, or does Traore stay out right? I'm not sure. But if he does keep his spot, then great option. Obviously on penalties for Villa. Hasn't missed one yet, so likely that he'll keep that spot. Also, Villa looking so good going forward. Now have a double game week as well. Especially, I think he's a decent amount cheaper than Grealish, who's gone up quite a lot in price. So if you don't I still think Grealish is better than El Ghazi, but if you don't have the money to get to Grealish, then I think El Ghazi does look like a pretty solid option, because after the double game week as well, he's got nice fixtures. Well, he's got mediocre fixtures, which is fine for Villa because they seem to be doing quite well in them. And also, I think you're not playing. You don't have the free hit, do you? So you're going into the blank game week. So as a kind of a blank game week option, I think El Ghazi does it pretty good as well. He's got Spurs, so against Spurs it's a tougher game, but Villa have shown this season that they can break down any defence when they put their minds to it. So El Ghazi, I'd say, looks like a pretty decent option there as a differential. Gonna start Mitchell Alioski first. Bench. I do not like to hear that. Because I do not want you to be gaining points off of Palace. No, I can't be having that. You can't. Mitchell better get benched. Van Aanholt surely has got to play. I can't. I'll be if Mitchell goes and gets an assist, I'll be fuming. Because obviously it's one of them up and downs. I'm buzzing that Palace has scored, but in the back of my head I'm like, Mitchell's got an assist. But yeah. If anyone in the chat's thinking, start Mitchell, because if he doesn't play, he won't play at all. And if he starts, obviously, is against Sheffield, should be one of the easier clean sheets out there. I'm out, mate. 3 a.m. here. Good luck this week, mate. Good luck. Oh, it's 3 a.m. where you are. Jesus Christ. Fair play for staying up that late. Happy New Year, everyone, as well. Everyone in the chat. Happy New Year 2021. Hopefully this is a better year for FPL for life. In general, Happy New Year, guys. We are very fastly approaching the deadline. 4 minutes to go. Let's roll through these comments quickly. One thing, I can't decide Kilman versus Benrahma. Thinking to put Kilman in, but if he doesn't play, then at least I got 1 point for Benrahma as sub. Yeah, I think that's a decent idea there. Benrahma obviously starting for Southampton, but most likely going to get a minus point because he's playing against Liverpool. Could pick something up, could score, never know. But yeah, Kilman's got a good fixture against Brighton, so if he does start, probably pick up a clean sheet. So I don't think that's a bad option at all. Lola just got him. FPL ruins me. Mate, it's one of those, isn't it? Game week 16 was a ruiner for a lot of people. Luckily, I managed to get out of it because Rashford managed to grab me a goal. But I know a lot of people have been ruined this season for FPL. I've been there and done that for sure. But ruined it in a good way. Yeah, very true, man. Welsh down come. Ruining the... Oh, there goes the light. The technical difficulties, as always. Should I sell Adams and Struijk for Brewster and Creswell? Depends. If it's a -4, then no. If it's 2 free transfers, I don't mind it, although Adams does have a decent double game week, so I don't know what your plans are for there. But a little bit sideways for me. Struijk, if you got the 1 free transfer, maybe look to go Struijk to another Leeds defender to sort of have that coverage. But Brewster, he's not really going to be getting too much, or he's starting to get some minutes, but not really getting any attacking returns. Creswell looks okay, but I prefer Soufal personally, a little bit cheaper, same kind of attacking returns. Who should I start? Cancelo, Chilwell, Tierney. I thought it was Terry for a second. Cancelo, Chilwell, Tierney, Kilman, or Soufal. Tierney against West Brom, definitely for me. Cancelo, I could start Cancelo. Walker's out, so he's definitely playing. Looks great for attacking returns, and Man City very good for clean sheets so far this year. Kilman, if he starts, will most likely get a clean sheet. The only worry there is obviously if he comes off the bench and only gets 1 point. Soufal probably guaranteed to start. Could get an attacking return against Everton, so I do really like him. You've got some good options there. Chilwell as well, so I'd say definitely Tierney and Cancelo, and then make the last pick out of the lot. Well, third or fourth defender out of the last one. Let me know. It's Bruno. People going. I see a lot of Bruno captaincies down and below. Let me know your last minute decisions. Who are you going with captain? Are we going with Salah? Are we going with Bruno? Are you punting like me, going with Jamie Vardy? Or are you hopping on that Leeds hype train of Heung-min Son and Harry Kane? We got 2 minutes to go. Everyone, panic stations, red alert. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. I want to thank everyone for joining me in the stream today. Happy New Year. Any last minute decisions, get them in. But yeah, it's been a decent little stream. I hope everyone has had a good New Year. Enjoyed themselves last night. I know I definitely did. Had one shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, beer, chug. Down it goes, lads. Go watch that Stag Night Out video, absolute classic. But yeah, I'm wishing everyone good luck for the new year. As I say in most of my streams, most of my videos, I hope you guys do well this week, but I hope I do better, because I want my players to do well. But definitely good luck. We got a lot of retracted messages coming in from this geezer, but 2 minutes to go. Get your last minute decisions in. I actually need to screenshot my team to lob it into the chat. Lob it into the chat. Let's get this screenshot. Final. Oh, there we go. The final decisions are made there. Jamie Vardy on captaincy. When Jamie Vardy goes and gets sent off for headbutting someone, you can come back into the chat and just laugh at me, I guess. But come on, Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy, he's a maverick of his time. Locked in. My man, 1, 2, 3 Welsh. Dan, locked in the last minute. McCarthy, Justin, Chilwell, Kilman, Bednarak and Ferguson, Grealish, Salah, Son, Bruno, Neto, Kane, DCL, Bamford. Good luck, fella. We are locked in now. The deadline has been hit. Good luck for the coming game week. My app's not actually refreshed. Let's get that refresh on there. Refresh. Good luck in the FPL Cup as well, everybody. I hope you've got a decent opponent, and you get through. Maybe I'll be facing you some point in the future. It's been a good little stream. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, obviously, if you are new around here. Let's tick over to the last seconds. Here we go. Wait for the FPL app to refresh. We are there. Come on. And we are there. Game week 17 is alive. We are ready and going. Oh my god! I bet there'll be news that comes out now. It's like, Manchester United Villa's called off. Half my team wiped. Honestly, if the United Villa game gets called off and the Spurs versus Leeds game gets called off, man, I got 2 players. 2 players. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. I can't lie, because we would have probably. I'm going for hair of the dog now. Feel absolutely appalling. Happy New Year. Yeah, mate, get him in. That's the best way to recover. That is the best way to recover. Hair of the dog. Enjoy the game week, obviously, and we have plenty more football to take us through to the new year. But I will be rounding the stream up there. Good luck, everyone. We obviously have the Everton versus West Ham lineups in half an hour. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me in the stream. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys have too. Good luck with the game.